Hi, today we are going to discuss my patient's audiogram. And so on the audiogram you can see that it shows frequency up here and intensity right here. Frequency talks about what pitch does the sound, what does it sound like? Is it a low pitch? Is it a high pitch? What level are we at? Intensity talks about how loud the sound is. Is it really soft or is it really loud? So frequency is like the pitch, how high or low the sound is, and intensity is like the volume, how soft or loud it is. And so on the audiogram you can see that. And this test was given to Hannah to determine her threshold levels. Her threshold levels means the quietest sound that she could hear at least 50% of the time. So these are the softest sounds that she can detect. And on this audiogram, you can see a few different symbols. So we're going to start with the symbols like these X's and O's right here. The X's mean that we were testing the left ear, and the O's mean that we were testing the right ear. And we were using air conduction for this, which is one type of way that we can test hearing. And with air conduction, we use the regular pathway of sound that people normally think about when they think of hearing. We are using just sound sent through your outer ear canal that collects the sound, through your middle ear, into your inner ear, and then to the brain. So that's the normal pathway. That's normally how we hear. And so that is measuring hearing using that pathway. And so as you can see, normal levels of hearing for adults is -10 to 25 decibels. So Hannah has normal hearing for air conduction in both of her ears, and that's what this audiogram shows. And then we have these little caret symbols right here. These symbols open to the right, so that means that we are testing the right ear. And the other way that we can test hearing is through bone conduction. And so this symbol is showing her bone conduction thresholds. Bone conduction uses vibrations of sound because sound is a force. So we can put a little machine right on the mastoid bone behind our right ear, and the sound will vibrate the bones of the skull and hit the inner ear and then go to the brain. So when we did bone conduction, Hannah was hearing the sounds just like she normally would have, but the pathway of the sound was different. It was coming from the vibrations of her skull to the inner ear to the brain instead. And so that's a little bit of a different way that we can test hearing, but it can help us test just the inner ear independently, and that can help us determine what type of hearing loss someone might have. And so, as you can see, her bone conduction thresholds are also all at normal levels, and so this means that her inner ear is functioning properly. She can hear normal sounds just like any other person with normal hearing could. And so you can see that her bone conduction symbols are right near her air conduction symbols. And so they're both within normal limits, which means that her ears are functioning just fine. And really the biggest gap that you'll see, the biggest difference you see between the air conduction and the bone conduction is only 5 decibels, like at this one. This has a 5 decibel difference between her bone conduction symbol and then her air conduction symbol. But that's not really a significant difference, and so we wouldn't really pay attention to that or contribute anything to that. So her air conduction and her bone conduction is all functioning normally, and this audiogram can just show us that and can show us the specifics of how she is hearing. So that is her audiogram. Thanks so much for watching.